Now the news, the race to establish a human presence on the moon has just received a big boost. India's Chandrayaan-3 mission has uncovered evidence suggesting lunar water may be more accessible than scientists previously believed.
When the Indian Space Research Organization, ISRO, successfully landed Chandrayaan-3's Vikram lander near the lunar South Pole, the world celebrated the feat as a monumental leap in space exploration. But the euphoria quickly transformed into a tide of anxious curiosity when reports emerged of an unsettling discovery made during the mission's early days. Now, the situation has taken a far more serious turn after a Nobel Prize-winning scientist, renowned for decades of work in quantum astrophysics, issued a sobering warning about what was uncovered on the moon. What began as a celebration of India's scientific prowess has now evolved into a potentially paradigm-shifting moment that might redefine humanity's understanding of the moon, and perhaps even the safety of space exploration itself. Before we start, smash the like and subscribe buttons for more updates. Chandrayaan-3 was tasked not only with achieving a successful soft landing, but also with deploying a suite of instruments aboard the Pragyan rover to investigate the composition and behavior of the lunar surface. In particular, the mission focused on the lunar South Pole region, a location cloaked in perpetual shadow and believed to harbor reservoirs of water ice. It was within this darkness, however, that an anomaly was detected, an anomaly that has since captured the attention of the world's most elite scientific minds. During the Pragyan rover's subsurface thermal and seismic experiments, it encountered what initially seemed to be just a variation in local geology. But deeper analysis began to raise far more unsettling questions. According to preliminary data, there appeared to be a repeating thermal signature deep beneath the regolith that didn't correspond with any known material interaction expected in that part of the moon. As the rover's instruments probed deeper, the signal grew stronger, displaying patterns that eerily mirrored artificial systems, resonances, and frequency harmonics that have no natural explanation. These patterns were not simply localized. They were part of a wider network of subterranean echoes that hinted at something massive and systemically integrated beneath the surface. ISRO's immediate response was to initiate a secondary round of diagnostic sweeps. Using its compact ground-penetrating radar GPR, Pragyan mapped the terrain down to several meters below the crust. The result was shocking. The radar detected an extensive lattice-like structure that extended beyond the immediate landing area. What's more, these formations were not chaotic or geologically random. They formed a mathematically regular grid, consistent in spacing and resonance behavior. At first, mission scientists assumed it could be an unclassified form of mineral crystallization, but mineral logic broke down under scrutiny. The pattern was too uniform, too symmetrical, and extended too deep. The geometry resembled engineered infrastructure. Only nothing about its depth, composition, or placement matched anything known in human or natural history. This wasn't a meteor impact structure or volcanic remnant. This was something else entirely. The alarm within the global scientific community was amplified when a Nobel-winning physicist from Switzerland, known for pioneering studies in gravitational resonance and spacetime topology, stepped forward after analyzing ISRO's raw datasets. His conclusion sent ripples through astrophysics forums, space agencies, and military research units alike. The structure beneath the moon's surface could be artificial, not necessarily built by humans, but artificial in origin nonetheless. He stopped short of speculating about its builders, but emphasized the immediate consequences. The thermal harmonics indicated a dormant energy distribution system. Whatever lies beneath the South Pole might not only have been constructed, it could have once been operational. The data suggested layered chambers and channels that behaved in ways reminiscent of superconducting fields under extreme cold. And considering the moon's naturally cryogenic temperatures in the polar shadows, the architecture could have harnessed conditions perfect for such technology. The implications were staggering. If the moon housed ancient, possibly intelligent architecture, the history of celestial development in our solar system might be dramatically different than previously believed. The moon, long thought to be a dead, inert satellite, could instead be a custodian of secrets dating back millions, if not billions of years, perhaps even from before the formation of Earth itself. Following this revelation, several quiet but urgent collaborations began taking place between ISRO, NASA, ESA, and other major spacefaring agencies. What exactly is buried under the lunar crust, and how could it have escaped detection for so long? The answer, it seems, lies partly in the choice of location. The lunar South Pole is perpetually cloaked in shadow, with depths that haven't been extensively probed until now. Most previous missions focused on the equatorial regions or on resource extraction potentials, not deep geomagnetic anomalies or architectural patterns. Chandrayaan-3, in a way, stumbled into one of the most confounding discoveries of modern space history purely because it looked where no one else dared to. It ventured not just into physical darkness, but into the obscurity of the moon's oldest, most concealed terrain. And what it revealed is rewriting theories with the gravity of a hammer blow. Beyond the questions of what this structure is and who, if anyone, built it, looms a much more urgent concern. Is it still active? According to the Nobel physicists' evaluation, the energy harmonics detected are not static. They fluctuate with a strange periodicity, almost as if responding to solar radiation cycles or distant gravitational tides. These aren't the kind of passive echoes that one would expect from ancient ruins. They are, in the physicists' words, behavioral patterns, as though the network is observing, reacting, or maintaining a dormant equilibrium. This shifts the discussion from archaeology to security. If the structure has mechanisms still in play, it could represent a dormant technology or a defensive system. Alternatively, it could be a monitoring platform designed to observe either Earth or solar phenomena. Its silence until now could be by design, triggered only once a certain threshold of exploration was breached. And that is precisely what Chandrayaan-3 has done, breached a threshold. The global space community has, for the most part, remained tight-lipped, releasing only diluted versions of the findings to the public. But data leaks and insider reports suggest that a flurry of satellite redirection maneuvers is currently underway, with multiple agencies refocusing their orbital instruments on the moon's south pole. There are whispers of follow-up robotic missions being fast-tracked, not just from ISRO, but from other agencies eager or desperate to investigate further. Some are even pushing for manned expeditions. Meanwhile, speculation has ignited in the scientific world. If such a structure exists on the moon, could similar systems be hidden beneath the Martian surface or beneath the icy crusts of Europa and Enceladus? Could these be remnants of a once galactic network, now buried by time and entropy, waiting for intelligent contact to reawaken? There's also the unsettling possibility that the moon was chosen specifically to house this structure due to its stability and proximity to Earth. That it orbits us, unchanging in its face and motion, might not be coincidence, it might be intentional placement. The moon's unique synchronous rotation ensures the same face is always visible from Earth, which some now argue could make it an ideal location for long-term observation or influence. A satellite, yes, but possibly not just of Earth's making. What Chandrayaan-3 uncovered was not merely a technological marvel, but a cosmic riddle, a secret embedded beneath the surface of our nearest celestial neighbor that has somehow waded through eons of silence. The discovery suggests that the moon is not just a rock floating in Earth's orbit. It may be a record, a machine, or a repository of purpose yet unknown. The implications extend beyond science and into philosophy, even theology. If there is, or was, another intelligence capable of building such systems, what was its intention? Was it exploratory, protective, observational, or something more ominous? The human species is no longer just gazing into the void of space. We may now be heard, detected, and possibly assessed. The age-old question of whether we are alone may not be answered in words, but in infrastructure, resonance, and the geometry of what sleeps beneath alien soil. It's important to recognize that this discovery doesn't confirm aliens or ancient civilizations, but it does tear a hole through the fabric of certainty that modern science has built around the moon. All assumptions about its geological dormancy, its sterile history, and its role in our planetary evolution are now called into question. It may very well be that the moon, rather than being a lifeless satellite, is the most vital key to understanding a broader cosmic ecosystem in which we are just beginning to recognize our place. As researchers and engineers pore over terabytes of seismic and thermal data, machine learning models are being employed to decode the rhythmic pulses emanating from beneath the lunar surface. The signals don't resemble any known geological behavior. Some contain modulated patterns that hint at deliberate modulation, like a language constructed not from words but from waves, harmonics, and spatial arrangement. This has led some scientists to theorize the possibility of a communication protocol built into the structure itself. Not a message directed to us necessarily, but a systemic function waiting for parameters to be met before responding. Chandrayaan-3's instruments may have been the final input required to trip that threshold. In all of this, what stands out is not merely the shocking nature of the discovery, but the subtlety with which it had remained hidden. The moon, watched for millennia by astronomers, photographers, and space missions alike, never revealed even the faintest hint of what lay buried in its southern shadow. It's a testament to both the complexity of what may be beneath the surface and to how much humanity has yet to understand about even our closest neighbors in space. This revelation might mark the beginning of a new epoch, not just in space exploration, but in how we view ourselves. The instruments aboard Chandrayaan-3 were designed for mineral mapping and thermal readings, not for deciphering alien architectures. Yet their data is forcing a transformation in mission design philosophies. Future missions may now incorporate linguistic analysis, complex pattern recognition systems, and dynamic thermal mapping not just to explore but to interpret. The Nobel laureate who warned the world about the implications of this discovery did so not to stoke fear, but to urge preparation. The moon may no longer be just a testing ground for rovers and landers. It could be the frontier of the most profound scientific reckoning in human history. Chandrayaan, the 3rd of May, have opened a doorway, not to a place, but to a mystery that spans epochs and invites questions that science alone may never be able to answer completely. And that doorway, once opened, cannot be shut. If you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. Also, leave your comments below and tell us, what are your thoughts on Chandrayaan-3's shocking moon discovery? We want to hear from you. Thank you for watching and see you next time.